What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. In the last part, we got to see the arrival of a brand new yet familiar villain, Lord Slug. After his self-imposed exile, Lord Slug finally returned stronger than ever. He felt that his current power was enough to take on the Super Saiyan. Once he got Kakarot out of his way, Namek and the Dragon Balls would be his, as well as the rest of the galaxy. Thankfully, he was stopped, and we saw a surprise person arrive back on Namek. That person being Raditz. We'll be seeing more of him and everyone else in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of the series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. So obviously a big question from the last part is, what has Raditz been up to? He's just been absent completely. Of course he explained why he was here and how he even got here. But Kakarot's actually curious as to what he's been up to. Well, Raditz has been doing a little bit of everything really. Besides some cliche soul searching and some training, he also has kind of become a mercenary for hire. Of course he's not the same kind of Saiyan he was before. He does have some sort of moral code, but this is a good job for him. He helps rid the universe of people like Frieza, he gets paid to do it, and it kills time, as well as letting him get stronger along the way. It fits perfectly into his Saiyan nature. Oh, that's interesting. Kakarot was hoping he would do something nicer, but hey, as long as he's not killing innocent people like before. That is somewhat of an improvement at least. And Raditz has definitely grown a lot stronger. Of course, he's still nowhere near Kakarot's level, and he doesn't even know what Kakarot's been up to so far. Kakarot explains what's been going on with him, and the most shocking part is that he's a Super Saiyan. His brother, a Super Saiyan. That's awesome. He saw it briefly when he arrived on the planet, but he wasn't sure what it was, since Kakarot dropped out of it soon after. Well, Raditz initially came here to catch up with his brother and help him in whatever situation was going on, but now he has a new goal. He wants to learn how to become a Super Saiyan as well. It looks like he's gonna stay here for a bit. Unexpected and unannounced. He's lucky that the people of Namek like him because he saved them before, or at least helped save them. And hey, after the victory against Lord Slug, they don't really have anything else better to do. And this might be good for Kakarot too. He'll be training with another Saiyan, another person like him. Of course, training with Nail's great, but Nail can only grow so strong, and he acknowledges this too. He tells Kakarot, it would be good to teach Raditz how to go Super Saiyan. He'd have someone that's closer to his level, and the two of them can grow stronger together, being great training partners. Namek is thankfully able to recover from all the damage that Slug did. Everyone's revived, and the Namekians continue their normal lives. As for Kakarot, he begins his training with Raditz. And now, we're actually going to head into a bit of a time skip. Not too much is actually happening over this time period. Raditz and Kakarot continue their training, and at some point, Raditz eventually does unlock Super Saiyan. And even better, Kakarot gets a hold on Super Saiyan as well as Super Saiyan 2. Once he fully masters Super Saiyan, it's then pretty easy for him to use Super Saiyan 2 again. And with all the years that are passing, even Raditz gets Super Saiyan 2. Of course, he doesn't stay on Namek this whole time. He goes from place to place, sometimes visiting Namek and sometimes being elsewhere. Kakarot's actually the same way too. Of course, he loves being on Namek, but he does go different places sometimes too, trying to learn new different techniques. At first it was just him visiting Earth, but now he's starting to go around the galaxy more and more. He actually did discover a pretty interesting planet too called Yardrag, and actually spent a few months' time there, not only to help try and train Super Saiyan 2 even more, but also because the techniques that they had there were pretty interesting. This will also make travel a lot easier, because he learned a technique called instant transmission. He didn't know something this great existed. Of course, there are Namekians on his planet that could teleport short distances, but this is something else. This will let him teleport across planets even. Of course, there's also Force Spirit Fission, which he'd probably want to try and learn. It seems like a pretty useful technique, but he'd only use it in dire circumstances. Thankfully, over this time, there's not much activity on Namek. There's been no crazy villains showing up, and even during his trips to Earth, Kakarot makes sure that that planet's alright, and it seems like they're not having any problems either. And even though all this peacetime is great, Kakarot is a bit bored. There's nothing to work towards right now. And that's why he pursues new methods of training like Yardrag. Maybe if he keeps researching, especially with the Namekian Book of Legends, he could probably find more stuff for himself. Not only will he train his body, but he's going to train his mind, as cliche as it sounds. Getting all of this knowledge will be pretty great for him. And he remembers that thing before that he saw, a Super Saiyan God. He's been thinking about it, and he still wonders if it's possible. This book says he needs 5 other Saiyans that are pure of heart. And he doesn't really know any other Saiyans pure of heart. Even Raditz probably isn't that pure. Hell, he doesn't even know how pure he is. And even if all the existing Saiyans that he knew about were pure, what is that, 4 of them total including him? Obviously not knowing about Broly, Tarble, or anyone else. But of course this piece isn't going to be permanent. It is Dragon Ball after all. Something bad is bound to happen eventually. One day, the Namekians notice a new ship approaching the planet. Now, this isn't that out of the ordinary, but it's still weird because they weren't expecting any ships to approach, and they don't know if it's a threat or not. And it's weird. At first, they don't sense anyone aboard. It could be someone incredibly weak, or it could just be someone hiding their key for some reason. A few of them decide to check it out. On another part of the planet, Kakarot is doing some training with Raditz. And not long after, a few Namekians show up. He feels like they might want to join the training, but something's weird about them. Kakarot notices that they look very odd in their stature, and then on their heads they have something on there. It's the letter M. he has no clue what this is. One of the Namekians lunges towards him. In his hand is some weird device. It stabs Kakarot right in his side, and Kakarot can feel his energy being drained. Thankfully, he's able to pry himself free very quickly, using a blast of air to knock the Namekians away and not hurt them too much. He doesn't know what's going on, but he feels like they're possessed by someone. Raditz is immediately concerned, but Kakarot says he's okay. He heals up the wound and he's trying to figure out what's going on, but the Namekians immediately retreat. Whatever that thing is that they stabbed him with, it stole some of his energy. That can't be good. He needs to get that back, either by breaking the device or even using Force Spirit Fission. The two of them chase down the Namekians, but as they do, more and more of them appear. There's a couple more with M symbols on their forehead, trying to slow down Kakarot so he can't catch up to the other two. Of course, this is an issue. He can fight them pretty easily, but he doesn't want to hurt them, so he does have to hold back a lot. Eventually, he goes to where they are. He arrives at some sort of spaceship. He and Raditz are confused as to what's going on, and they can't sense anyone around besides those Namekians. All of a sudden, they feel an ominous presence behind them. The last thing Raditz hears is the swipe of his sword, right before he's instantly teleported away from there. Thankfully, Kakarot was fast enough to react, using instant transmission to get them away. They look over to where they just were, and they see a large pink man standing there, holding out a sword. If they stood there any longer, they would have been caught off guard and probably hit directly by his sword, both sliced cleanly in half. The man then puts away his sword. He realizes that these are the two people he wants to look for. It's Dabura. He could kill them right now, but that would ruin the fun, and it would mean they won't get any energy from them. So he probably shouldn't get too excited with his sword. Of course, the two of them have no idea what's going on. And with how quickly all this is happening, even Shin and Kibito have no idea about this. They haven't shown up on the planet yet. So Kakarot and Raditz fight this guy like it's normal, not knowing that their energy is being siphoned away. With both of them being Super Saiyan 2, this fight actually isn't too hard. They're able to hold off Dabura pretty well, and Dabura realizes that he might be in over his head. Even one of them alone might be enough to hold him off, but with two of them together, they completely overpower him. So he's mainly on the defensive. He does have to draw this out after all, besides the fact that he's also trying not to die. And that's the thing too. Kakarot and Raditz don't know what this guy wants. They don't want to kill him right away because they want to figure that out first. Their goal right now is to incapacitate him, and once they get the info they need, they will kill him. They're concerned about all those Namekians. They've been possessed by someone. This guy also has an M on his forehead. Maybe he's the one who did it. Little do they know, it was obviously Babidi that did so. He's watching from his ship, very glad that Dabura is accomplishing what he wanted. Although the Namekians didn't gather too much energy from Kakarot, it's still a good amount, and with Dabura fighting him and Raditz, he's slowly but surely getting a lot more energy. But that's the thing, it's pretty slow, and he has no way to speed this up. He could try and get another servant, but he sees no way of how to do that. There is no way he could possess Kakarot and Raditz. Dabura just needs to hold out for a little bit longer, and then they'll have all the energy that they need. Dabura is in pretty rough shape right now. The two of them have done a good amount of damage to him. Kakarot then stretches out two of his hands, lifting up rocks nearby, crushing them together to trap Dabura in between them. In order to make sure he's stuck there, Raditz then wraps Ki around it too. And now they have him in one spot. They ask him, what's going on? Who is he and why is he here? And what happened with all those Namekians? Dabura ends up talking, saying they won't defeat him or his master Babidi. Babidi? Who's that? He tells them it's already too late. Their plan's already in motion. Their plan? Plan for what? Dabura is obviously pretty confident right now. And then his expression completely changes. Kakarot and Raditz aren't sure why, but then they look behind them seeing someone else there. There's two people. Raditz doesn't know who these people are, but Kakarot feels like he vaguely recognized them from somewhere. And then it hits him, that outfit that they have on. He read about this in the Book of Legends before. This is a Supreme Kai. He has no idea what to do, so he just immediately bows, and Raditz also follows, while also both making sure that Dabura stays restrained. Shin tells them they need to make this quick. What happened so far? The two brothers realize that right away this matter must be pretty serious if a Supreme Kai showed up. Not that Raditz knows what that is, but the name sounds pretty scary. The two Kais keep Dabura under check, making sure he stays paralyzed. Kakarot explains everything that's happened so far. Damn, Shin thinks that they might actually be too late. They got some energy from Kakarot, and not to mention they had this whole fight going on between them and Dabura. But they don't sense Majin Buu yet. Maybe it's still fine, but he tells them to not stall anymore. He knows they want to get information about Dabura, but that actually worked against them because it drew out the fight. So immediately it turned back to him, killing Dabura instantly. So that at least solves one problem, but they don't know where Babidi is in his ship, and even if they find him, they don't know how much energy Buu has. They need to be very careful. Wait, if they're trying to get energy away from Babidi, he has an idea. If Kakarot could just get close enough to wherever Buu's egg is, he could use Force Spirit Fission. Maybe he could draw the energy out of that, making sure that none of this ever happens. Force Spirit Fission? Oh, a technique of the Yardrats. That actually might work. Shin says that's a great idea, and the four of them all head inside the ship. As long as they kill Babidi, then the Namekians will be free of his control. They don't know how many he's taken control of though, and as they board the ship, they see more and more. Now obviously this is a pretty huge issue. They gotta conserve their energy and make sure they don't expend any more, and they can't hurt these Namekians. Kakarot tells Raditz to let him handle it. He's just gonna rely on pure martial arts. That way he could just knock them unconscious without hurting them too much. But this also wastes a lot of time. As they try and get lower and lower into the ship, Babidi is still collecting energy. Even though he's not getting it from everyone else, he's stealing it from his own minions. Not just the Namekians that he possessed, but also Pui Pui and Yakum. Now, it was kinda hard for him to possess the Namekians in the first place, but thankfully they were weak enough for him to do this still. Although they're not very strong for minions. With these Namekians being so good and all, it was kinda hard to get in their mind. And that's why he's stuck with weaker Namekians. But this is good. He can at least take energy from them. Slowly the meter's filling up. He's almost ready for Buu's revival. Then he's taken by surprise. The roof above him explodes. 4 people jump in. Kakarot, Raditz, Shin, and Kibito. Kakarot's attention is immediately diverted to the egg. He rushes over there, and just as he's about to touch it, a massive hot pillar of steam ejects out of it. Kakarot's only able to narrowly avoid this. It even singes his clothing a bit. Babidi begins cheering. How sad. They're just seconds too late. But Kakarot's not going to give up. He tries punching the egg, starting to steal energy from it, but nothing's working. It's already hatching. It's too late. Shin tells him he needs to get away from that right now. Nothing he does can work. Not knowing what else to do, out of anger he then turns to Babidi. Kakarot launches 2 lasers from his eyes, immediately killing the wizard. Shin and Kibito don't necessarily know if that was a great idea, because this means Buu would completely be out of control. With Babidi there, at least Buu would have been kept under that control. But who knows, maybe that was a good idea. He'll be less direct in his actions once he is revived. Kakarot and Raditz have no idea what to expect, but the egg then hatches. And once they actually see Buu, they realize, maybe it was a good idea to kill Babidi. This guy seems kind of absent-minded, and even though he definitely is out of control and chaotic, it's not like he's just going to destroy everything instantly. Even Shin's surprised. Well, with the influence of the Grand Supreme Kai in him, he guesses it makes sense that this Buu's a lot more docile than the one that he saw. But still, they can't mistake that personality as weakness, because immediately, Buu tries to attack them, and he holds nothing back. His attacks are incredibly powerful, and he has no clue of where he is or why he's here. Kakarot's trying to think of what to do right now, but Shin says they need to get out of here as soon as possible. He's about to tell Kakarot to grab on, but he then grabs onto Raditz and everyone else and teleports them away himself. Oh yeah, they forgot this guy knew how to use Yardrat techniques. But at least that's good. That means they don't have to rely on the Kais. Kakarot's trying to come up with a plan in his mind, and Raditz is trying to do that as well. Spirit Fission might work, but he's not too sure against this guy. From what Shin's saying, this guy has his own magic. Maybe he'll be able to reverse this. Or maybe it won't even work at all. Maybe he can use the Mafuba. As long as he has an opening for this, that'll work. A sealing technique. Yeah, that might actually do okay. Thankfully, with Babidi dead now, all the Namekians around them are free. And with all this commotion going on, of course more show up trying to see what's happening, including Nail. They're all amazed to see a Supreme Kai here. And Kakarot explains the situation. It's dangerous and they need to get out of here as soon as possible. The entire planet might be at risk. Gather the Dragon Balls up just in case. Thankfully, it seems like they have some time to formulate a plan. Buu's not pursuing them pretty quickly. He seems to just be doing his own thing right now. But to make things even worse, they look up in the sky and see something else approaching. Shin and Kibito point it out. Is that another spaceship? Oh wait, no, it's 2 spaceships. Kakarot and Raditz look up and immediately their stomachs drop. They can recognize the spaceships right away, as well as the energies on them. No, why are these 2 showing up now? The Kais are confused, but Kakarot and Raditz go to chase down the ships. There's no way it could actually be them, can it? Why would they be here? Why now? The ships land and Kakarot and Raditz arrive for their landing, and it's just like they expected. 2 people step off, Vegeta and Nappa. Oh, so Raditz is here too. How fun. They sarcastically say it's nice to see the 2 of them again. They know it's been a while. Vegeta says not to get in the way though. He's here for the Dragon Balls, and Kakarot's not going to be able to stop him. Even if he is a Super Saiyan, that doesn't matter. Kakarot says now's not really the time for a fight. They're kind of dealing with something else pretty big right now, and this only makes Vegeta even happier. Great. That'll mean he can get the Dragon Balls while everyone else is distracted. He just needs to kill these 2 quick. He and Nappa then begin powering up. Their hair flashes golden, their aura surges, and they show off Super Saiyan. They assure Kakarot they've gotten much stronger over this time period, and this isn't even their full power right now. It's all thanks to him for showing off Super Saiyan before. It's kind of like he screwed himself over, right? Damn it, of course they have to deal with these 2 at the same time as Buu. This is really gonna complicate things. With all that, we'll leave off here for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? What do you think's gonna happen with Buu? And how do you think the fight with Vegeta and Nappa's gonna go? If there even is a fight. Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you like the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part to this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future parts of this What If, or any of the videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.